So this is really the main knock that has persisted against Nintendo for generations, and I like to think, at least hope, that it's mostly from trolls trying to get a rise out of people. I don't want to think that people are this stupid, but in this video, I'm going to explain why the Nintendo is for kids idea as an argument against Nintendo is completely idiotic. Let's start easy. I'll pitch Underhand at the beginning. Breath of the Wild. Let's take a game, that's recent, well-known, people are familiar with it. Put that game in, say, a 7-year-old's hand, and let me know how that goes. If the kid just wrecks the game, as like you said, Nintendo games, they're for kids, please record it and show it to me. That would be a sight to see, but my guess is it'd be pretty difficult for a young child to play Breath of the Wild. Combat is tough, little is explained to you in the game at any point. I mean, within the first couple minutes, you're given the quest to go defeat Calamity Ganon, the game's end boss. It's like, there you go, guy, he's right over there. Figure out how to prepare yourself to kill him over the next 40 hours or whatever. Good luck. Now compare that to what I guess would be an adult's game. Something like Call of Duty. Oh, well, that's not fun enough. Let's, we're talking, this is a knock against Nintendo, so we're going to single them out. Let's bring the console wars into this. The Uncharted games, Halo, Gears of War. Yeah, the real shit. I can boil all these games to pretty much one sentence. 3 steps, really. Enter a room, kill all the guys, repeat. Oh sure, there's the guise of more things going on, like the quote, puzzles in Uncharted, which, come on, they're a joke. I've played all the games. Don't even give it to me. Even if something is a little challenging in the Uncharted games, you won't go 5 minutes before your NPC buddy says something to the effect of, "Hey Drake, come over here, look at this," guiding you to the solution. But no, you're right. No child could ever wrap their simple minds over these deep gameplay mechanics. Give them the baby Breath of the Wild game. Halo's complexity would melt their little minds. But what about titles like Mario Kart, Splatoon, another shooter like I just ripped on, Mario? Geez, Mario is just run and jump. Sure, Nintendo has plenty of games with simpler gameplay design and mechanics. I'd say Mario is a fantastic first game for a kid. But acting like your Gun Bro game is overly complex in comparison is straight up laughable. Oh, what's that? You're talking more in terms of the look of the game. Oh, my mistake. When you said Nintendo games were for kids, I thought we were talking about gameplay. Excuse me, I thought games were talking about gameplay. You meant presentation. That M rating is what makes a game for adults. First off, are we still pretending that we're in this world where the rating of a game means anything? I mean, Jesus Christ, I hop on Grand Theft Auto 5 online, and what am I met with? Chat rooms full of little squeakers. But you want more violence in your games? Okay. But again, I don't think that makes a game, quote, for adults, as opposed to something that's, quote, for kids. Like when I close my eyes and imagine someone looking at Zelda and going, "Oh, this game would be better if Link was chopping people's heads off and stabbing them in the stomach and having their guts pour out. Yeah, that'd be sweet." I don't imagine the person saying that being an adult. I actually imagine like some 12 or 13-year-old edgelord, aka a kid. Now, I'm a fan of violence too. Hell, survival horror is my favorite genre of games. But honestly, I could never imagine an adult saying that's the turnoff for something like Breath of the Wild. I mean, I made videos talking about the things I didn't like from Breath of the Wild, and I watched other people's videos on the things they didn't like. I never met one person that was like, man, what would have fixed Breath of the Wild, or any Nintendo game for that matter, is more blood and guts. I've never heard it. Here's a real adult factor that I never hear anyone bring up, but I hear it from parents all the time. Let's take a game like Dark Souls, or to keep it in the exclusivity department, let's keep the console wars brewing, guys. Let's take Bloodborne. My hands down favorite PS4 game. I love Bloodborne. You look at Bloodborne, you look at Breath of the Wild, and you say, well, Zelda is the kiddie one, Bloodborne is the one for adults. Here's the thing about that logic. Like I said, I certainly don't see Breath of the Wild as a game for little kids. It's not a kiddie game. It's kid friendly, but there are adults who might prefer that. people who don't really want the darker, bloodier themes or simply just want something more colorful or different. Is it really that absurd to say that some adults may prefer the bright, colorful, more cartoony style that is akin to Nintendo? But building off that, what about parents who are gamers? Again, this is the thing that I don't get why no one ever brings it up. The way I see it, Breath of the Wild isn't Bloodborne for little Timmy to play. Breath of the Wild is Bloodborne for Timmy's dad to play while Timmy is in the room. Timmy's dad doesn't want little Timmy getting nightmares and running into bed with mommy and daddy at 2 in the morning, but Timmy's dad also doesn't want to play Mario Kart all day. And that's where a game like Breath of the Wild is perfect, and options for these types of games are very limited on consoles that don't start with the name Nintendo. Actual adults, especially ones with kids, can see the immense value and difference in what I see as something being strictly for kids versus something that is kid-friendly. I liken a lot of Nintendo games to Disney animated movies, where they're able to straddle this line in making something that both kids and adults can enjoy together. Like, let's pose another adult situation. 2 adults discussing movies. If one goes, well, my favorite movie is Beauty and the Beast, is the other adult really going to be like, psh, Beauty and the Beast, that's a kid's movie? I don't think so, but you know where I could see that conversation playing out? Again, between 13-year-olds. Kids. And here's the beauty, the genius in Nintendo's workings here. Timmy gets a little older, and after all this time watching his dad play Zelda, what does he want to play? Oh, surprise, Zelda. Timmy grows up playing Mario Kart, goes off to college, and shocker, his buddies want to play Mario Kart drinking games. Yeah, by about college age, I think that whole edgelord mentality of shoot, shoot, bang, bang is the cool thing really wears off. I mean, when I was in college, and this was during the age of the PS3 and Xbox 360, all anybody wanted to play was N64. People don't just play these games as kids and then move on to whatever you would call adult games. They stick with them, and that's why Nintendo has the greatest, most known video game characters in history. Like, I'm sorry, disagree with me on what you want, but let's be factual about one thing. You cannot say characters like Nathan Drake and Master Chief are as notable characters as not just Mario, but hell, Link, Donkey Kong, Pikachu. All these characters, I would say, are currently and down the line will always be more notable, because they're timeless and so are their games. But before I close, beyond just defending Nintendo, their games and characters against this just for kids argument, does that mean I think it's okay to just have that, Nintendo's bread and butter? No. Like I said, I still like the blood and guts, and Nintendo has done a decent job throughout history of still providing those experiences on their systems. I mean, 2 of my favorite games of all time, Resident Evil 1 Remake and Resident Evil 4, started off as GameCube exclusives. You got your Mad Worlds, the Fatal Frame exclusives, Bayonetta 2, Jesus, where is our Bayonetta 3, by the way? Get on it. Could we use more games like this on Nintendo platforms? Of course, especially on the Switch. If you followed me, I've even said, let's get a Dark Souls collection on there. And I hear your complaints of wanting more violence, blood, guts, hell, nudity and sexual themes. Guys, I'm down with it. What I'm saying, and hopefully what you've gotten from this video, is that especially in this day and age, adult themes do not make a game necessarily for adults, nor does kid-friendly mean strictly for kids. Personally, out of the people buying games, either for themselves or for their kids, I think a very small percentage is actually basing those purchases off of the little ratings and warnings on the back of the box. To me, it's not a question of, what demographic this game is for. It's more of a question of personal tastes. Maybe I feel like chainsawing some dudes in half today in Doom. Tomorrow I want to explore Hyrule, and hell, maybe the next day I want to see what Panther's up to in Persona 5. Shoutouts to the anime folks out there. It's still not real though. All that I care about, all that should matter, is the game is fun. And with that, this video's a wrap. Let me know your thoughts on the Nintendo games are for kids argument in the comments. As always, I'm John Zaccari, and thanks for watching.